Hello, my darlings. It's the start of another beautiful week, and every moment of life is so precious, even when it feels really, really hard, and so many of us are hanging on by just a thread. So many people who I'm speaking with at the moment are just desperate, and you know, we need good news, we need uplifts. I'm glad the sun's out. Anyway, today I thought I would share with you just a few tips on how to release anxiety when it gets stored in the body, because our body stores everything. Our bodies are really books that hold all our chapters together, and everything eventually manifests somewhere in the body. And stress and anxiety are huge causes behind so many illnesses, and in particular mental health illnesses, because if we're anxious and stressed for a long period of time, our brains actually produce this horrible yucky stuff called myelin, which actually encourages mental health illnesses and all those lovely happy coping neurotransmitters just get vacuum packed. And we don't want that. We want to fill ourselves with those beautiful neurotransmitters again. So I'm going to show you a few easy things, and anybody can do this, whether you're 2 or 200, you can do it. You can also do it for other people, although I always like to share things that you can do for yourselves, even if you have reduced mobility, because it's empowering and you've got them at your disposal at any time. So the first one I'm going to share with you, and I've shared it before on other videos actually, it's kind of just in between your eyebrows, slightly above them, so just above that concentration point there, and in the middle of your forehead. If you imagine you had a third eye there and looked like Cyclops, well, he's only got one, you just massage there, backwards and forwards with just the pads of your fingers, and move the skin. I mean, obviously don't jab your fingers in like some kind of, you know, Makita drill. You're just gently moving the skin. So it's a gentle but firm pressure. And what this does, you're accessing the pineal through touch, and you're releasing melatonin, which is huge in helping with our sleep, our mood levels, and our aggression. Helps to even it all out. You've also, as I just said, got a concentration point there. That always comes in handy. If we're feeling anxious or stressed, I don't know about you, but it's really hard to think clearly, you know, so it's a really powerful one and very simple and very discreet actually. You could do it anywhere really, unless you were right in the middle of a conversation with somebody and you suddenly started going like that to their head. They might think you're a bit weird. But other than that, you know, you can use it anywhere. It's fantastic. So if you have trouble sleeping, which often goes hand in hand when you're stressed and anxious, then we start that horrible downward spiral. That's a really good one to do, especially before you go to bed and at any time during the day when things are getting a bit much. The next one is your neck, and your neck connects mind to body, thought to feeling. You know, it's the start of the vagus nerve, which, as you know, because I've said it 20 billion times, and I'm sure you all want to kill me by now, it's the it's the largest nerve of the autonomic nervous system in the central nervous system, and it pumps up those happy hormones and coping chemicals from the gut and into the brain and back down again. So it goes on this loop. So it starts in the neck and runs either side of the neck. This is so simple. If you just literally nod your head as if you were saying no, I mean yes, wow, need some caffeine, and then shake it as if you were saying no. So just nodding your head and shaking your head, you are pushing up all of those delicious neurotransmitters. And 90% of our happiness one, the serotonin, is in the gut. So we're pushing it up, clearing our throats, saying what we need to say, pushing that blood and oxygen up to the brain, boosting concentration, focus, motivation, all those gorgeous things that are going to absolutely hoover up that myelin. I don't like, even the name of it's horrible, isn't it? Myelin. Don't like it. It's nasty. We don't want that. So you can do that one too. And you just look like you're just exercising your neck. Lots of people stretch their necks and things. I don't think it looks that weird. Mind you, I'm incredibly weird, so I suppose people are used to that. But I think this one is, I think you could use that pretty much anywhere. It's only the same as when you stretch your neck, isn't it? It works. It's at your disposal, and I'd love you to use it. The next one is we hold a lot in our guts, in our stomachs. And when we're under long-term stress or anxiety, our tummies can feel tight or bloated, or as if we've got those indigestion-y sort of feelings. And it's really, really, really unpleasant. And anxiety can often be very much linked with irritable bowel syndrome, things like that, because it's an inflammation, it's stress. So to release that, you can either, I like to do this one with my kids. We call it the I am. We open up our hearts. It's a kid's yoga position, but you're basically swaying your arms. We also do swaying trees like this, very gently, obviously with social distancing, because nobody wants to be concussed. We don't want concussed trees. We want swaying trees. Concussion will do nothing for your anxiety or stress, by the way. But this will, because you are massaging your tummies. You can also do it by just simply twisting your arms round. I'm sat on a beanbag at the moment. Just twisting your arms round and touching the floor or your chair or your bed, wherever you're sitting. Just twisting and placing your hands on either side of you. And that gives the stomach and the gut such a blooming good massage that dopamine is just, it wants a free party. It's raving. So do it, because it really, really, really helps to release it. And all that serotonin, 90% of our serotonin and melatonin, the hormone of sleep, mood and aggression that I just mentioned, is actually made from serotonin. So you're doing yourselves a massive favor just by doing that simple exercise. And if it's a child, put it into swaying summer trees, put it into a story, flying fairies, I don't know, use your imaginations. Imaginations are wonderful. Albert Einstein said once, A to B brings you logic, imagination takes you everywhere. But he didn't stutter when he said it. Sorry, I've got a lot going on at the moment. Oh, I've got BBC interview tomorrow with BBC Somerset Radio at 8:45 a.m. live. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't believe it. To chat about the Autism Hero Awards and all of you amazing people who teach me and who I get to share my time with every single day. Anyway, I must stay focused. So the next thing is your hands. Now the hands, as you know, all the muscles in the hands relate to the muscles in the brain. So you always do both hands, and then you're polishing both sides of the brain. But a really good one to do for anxiety is to breathe in through your nose if you can, and clench your fists as hard as you can. And then breathe out. Just let it go. And it's a really physical thing. You can feel it. It's wonderful. So you just clench your hands hard as you can and let it go. Sometimes I get a bit carried away and I imagine I'm actually picking up the things or the people or whatever it is that's causing me anxiety in my life. I imagine I'm picking them up. Sorry, I didn't mean to gnash my teeth then, but I'm just getting into it a bit. Let them go with love. No, seriously, let them go, even if you have to chuck them on the floor. Seriously, it works. And what you're doing is it's like squeezing all that anxiety out of your brain and freshening it up again. It's incredible how all the parts of our bodies are linked like gorgeous jigsaws. The more and more neuroscientific training I do, the more nerdy I become, as you know. But also, I just want to learn more and more and more because we're put together so perfectly. It's incredible. The other thing you can do is with your shoulders, and you can either just roll them backwards and forwards, because obviously, if you think about our very language, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and a very good indication for me, whether people are verbal or non-verbal, is reading their body language. And if people's shoulders are up here, it often, they're up in arms. They've got their armor up. They're under long-term stress, fight or flight, anxiety. So if you imagine that load in your shoulders and you breathe in and then breathe out. And if you don't want to do the breathing because you're in the middle of a packed bus or a train, providing they're not on strike, because we've got that to deal with now as well. Oh my God, I'm amazed we're not all mad. If you just do it like that, it just looks like, again, you're just exercising your shoulders, and there's nothing wrong with that. You won't look weird, I promise you. You really, really won't. And if you're on your own, you can combine it with the breathing. And it really is like you've been carrying 20 shopping bags in each hand and you're just putting them down. It's so simple, but so effective. And I'm going to finish with the heart, with the chest, because the heart is the control mechanism to health. It's where we're feeling emotionally right now, in this very moment. And when they do, when people are tested for physiological stress, it's always done through heart variability testing. That's how they do it. And it just goes to show that the heart really is the control mechanism to the body. And astonishingly, there were two doctors, Dr. Lloyd and Dr. Ben Johnson, and for 30 years at Harvard University, they carried out studies on people, asking them if they were under any form of physiological stress. 90% of them said, 90% of them said no, and 90% of that 90% were. So there you go, it just goes to show you that's nearly all of them, because they just got used to it. So all you do is you just put your hands on your chest and you just breathe. Just breathe into your hands. And if you can do it in through your nose and out through your mouth, that's even better. But if you've got breathing issues or a cold or asthma, and it's difficult for you, just gently breathe. Just gently breathe. And it's incredibly grounding. It brings you immediately to the present. And through that touch, in under 20 seconds, used to be 40, they've now measured it to be 40, after 20 seconds only, the hormone oxytocin is released into your bodies. And that's the hormone of love and nurture. It makes you feel safe and grounded and loved. Babies fill with it when they're breastfeeding. So it's that really nurtured feeling. And not only that, and this is amazing, and I found this out last year on one of my trainings, it also helps to stimulate our emotional intelligence. So things like empathy, putting ourselves in other people's shoes, clear thinking, being able to have good judgment, to see consequences, all those sorts of emotionally intelligent skills, which obviously, when we're stressed and anxious, they fly out the window with little cloaks on and their pants outside their trousers going with the super destroyers. We don't want that. We want them back. So fill your heart with them. Seriously. I know I'm a bit daft sometimes, but honestly, I when I share my courses, I'm like this, because I think if you can have a giggle and you can put things in accessible, easy ways, not saying that anybody's silly, it's just that's how I learn. I learn so much through laughing. Humour is massive to me. Just thought I'd explain that. So it helps you remember, Anyway, if you want to know more about those 5 simple, very discreet techniques that you could use anywhere, you can log on to annakennedyonline.com, where I'm a wellbeing charity ambassador. And every single Monday, I write a short 2-minute read article with diagrams to accompany these videos. So please log on. It's a wonderful, wonderful charity. It's got loads of resources, loads and loads of information, lots of things you can access. And, we all do this for free. It's with our brains, but with our hearts. So log in, because it's well worth it. Even if you absolutely want to throw darts at me, there's lots of other more sensible people. No, I don't mean that. I am sensible, actually. I just like to deliver things in my unique way, because like a lot of the people I work with, I don't come with a filter. I just thought I'd mention that one too. Anyway, have a positive week. Try these methods to release a lot of the anxiety that we're all going through. I really feel for you. I hope I bring a smile to your faces occasionally. And I just, the sun's out, well, in the UK it is, but wherever you are, even if it's a grey day, like sunflowers, turn and face each other and bring each other your own yellow, your own light, and look out for and after each other, because a lot of people are hanging on by a thread, and it's the quiet ones you need to watch out for in particular. So yes, take care everybody, lots and lots of love, and I will see you next week. Bye bye darlings.